What's up, guys? It's Duke here from SportsGamers.com, and I got a great Madden 20 tip for you guys today. We're going to be looking at the defensive side of the ball, and I'm going to break down a very glitchy three-man Nano Blitz that's very difficult to block. It's easy to set up, and I'm also going to break down my coverage scheme behind it that allows me to stop a lot of the meta stuff you see in offense, from corner routes, crossers, one-play touchdowns, all that. Now, we're going to be looking at the big dime 2-3-6. It's a new formation that I've been running lately. I haven't run it much this year, but lately I've really been enjoying it. Especially if you play MUT and have a lot of good EBs, man, this is a great formation to use. It's in a lot of playbooks. I'm going to look at it from the Jets book. Now, the Jets is just what I prefer, but like I said, you can do it from many others. So if this formation, guys, I like to put my fastest backup corner in the slot. And if you don't have any fast linebackers, is why I say it's good to have multiple DBs, you can put safeties in. Now, generally speaking, you want to have your best pass rusher, I would say, is this D tackle on the left of the screen. And this linebacker opposite the DB in the slot, he's going to be dropping back in coverage. So you do ideally want a good player there. As well, we're going to be rushing basically the three players on the left of the screen. This D tackle right here where you see Donald, this end right here in Fowler, and this nickel back. So those should be some good pass rushers for you guys. So the play we're going to look at is the under smoke 2, okay? And I have auto flip off with this defense. I basically just see, I always like to have my nickel back on the same side of the screen or as my running back, or as the offense's running back. So if I see that they come out with the running back on the right, I just flip the defense. But since he's on the left right here, we just leave it be. Now, before we get too far into the setup, I do want to remind you guys to please subscribe to the channel and make sure you turn your notifications on, man. It's very easy to do, and that way you will not miss out when we post our content. We post content daily, post tips. We'll be posting Madden 21 news as it comes out. And also, I'm about to start posting gameplays as well for you guys, breaking down my schemes and like some MUT and maybe some ranked games as well. So, and if you're really rocking with me, man, smash that like button. The support is unreal lately, and it does help us out a lot, so I do appreciate it. All right, guys, getting back to the defense, super easy setup. All you have to do is press coverage, and that's just you hit the coverage audible, which is Y on Xbox or triangle on PlayStation, and then you just press down on the left analog stick. Now, some formations you might need to move this guy in, but others you won't. It just depends upon the offensive formation, but you want him right next to this D lineman on the edge right here standing up. Next thing I do is I hit left on the D-pad and down on the right analog stick to slant the D-line down. Okay, then I go ahead and hit LB, which is for Xbox, or L1 for PlayStation, and then RB on Xbox or R1 on PlayStation that QB contains. Last thing, now, honestly, guys, you could just run it like this, and I do man myself up on the running back and just stand right here. You can run it like this. It's cool, make it a 5-man rush, but what I do to make it even better is I go ahead and I spy my D tackle, and you just go ahead and I hit, and the D tackle on the right, I hit on the D-pad to the left twice, and then I hit his icon, which here is A, and then to the left on the right analog stick spies him, and then for my DB right here, he was in a linebacker spot, I put him in the middle third or a mid read. It depends upon the adjustments I'm going to do. If I just am going to keep it a cover 2 look, I probably am going to put him in a mid read. Now, after I show you guys how the blitz works, I'm going to break down my specific coverages I do on the next play example. So, here you're going to see we're just going to go ahead and block the running back. And this is a 3-man rush, but it will work even if they block the running back. Even if they ID your rusher, they're going to have to do certain things like max protect actually to slow this blitz down because it's a 3-man rush that's really glitchy. So by manning ourselves up on the running back, that's going to dumb out the running back and let that DB run right by. And you kind of just want to let the computer control your player manually for a split second once the ball's snapped. So he just kind of dumbs that running back out. And once you see that, then you can drop back over the middle of the field in coverage. Now, if you guys wonder why Russell Wilson broke the sack there, he has that ability to where he will break the sack attempt by the DB a lot. So that's why. Most players do not have that. So, that's not something you commonly have to worry about. In fact, I'll sub him out just so you guys can see that that's just Russell Wilson's ability. But as you guys can see, it is literally a 3-man blitz off the edge, and the running back, you could, like I said, you can ID him, whatever, he's going to ignore that guy, and he's just going to run right by him. As you can see, the coverage is locked down too. I mean, there's really nowhere to go with the ball here, and the running back, again, he's just dumbed out. and we got great coverage, and we're screaming off that edge. All right, so it doesn't get much better than this. As you guys can see here, great coverage and pressure. Now, if you're playing someone who has the running back on the right of the screen, it's very easy to do. I'll show you guys how you can set it up if you see the running back on the right. So, guys, now I want to show you what I do if the running back's on the right of the screen. So, tight doubles here, that's a good example of the running back on the right. So, like I said, I don't really have auto flip on. I just flip it myself, depending upon if I think they're going to flip their formation or not. And if I come out and I have it flipped and then the running back's on the other side, I can just easily, go ahead and reset it or flip it to get the running back or the nickel back on the same side as the running back. You always want the slot corner basically on the same side of the screen as the running back. So again, setup's the same. We have our slot corner on the same side of the running back. We just press, crash our D-line down, contain, and then like I said, that's really, sometimes you'll have to move this guy in so he's on the contain just like I do here. And then we just go ahead and man up our user on the running back, and we like to stand over the guard. Again, go ahead and put your coverage adjustments out there. Now, what I really like to do that stops corner routes really, really well is I actually put this in a coverage tip recently, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it from this blitz. So we're going to kind of combine two tips in one, my blitz with my coverage scheme that I like to do to stop corner routes. So what I do is I basically will put this guy in the middle third, and then I will put the safeties on an outside third on each side. So we'll put the one on the left on the outside third to the left, the one on the right on the outside third to the right. And the way I do this is I hit, again, YY for Xbox or triangle for PlayStation to bring up the individual coverage assignments for each player. Then I just hit their icon, and the outside third to the right is to the left on the right stick, and outside third to the left is to the left on the left stick, okay? So once I have that set up, just get, on my player. You can shade down or up if you want clouds or hard flats. Doesn't really make a difference. And we're just going to look to guard the middle of the field ourselves. I really like this because it's a three-man rush, good pressure, hard to block. You got to spy so they can't run around with the quarterback, and good coverage. Like I said, these outside thirds with the cloud flat combo will box corner routes. So if they do happen to keep the running back on a route and you're manned up to him, you don't have to guard him because remember, this is zone coverage. We're going to have a cloud flat most of the time, or some sort of flat zone on the same side of the running back. So if he actually does go out on the route, you don't need to worry about it, guys. You can just let you can kind of just sit in that middle of the field just as we normally would, let that DB come around the edge, and then just guard whatever you want to guard. Now, again, Russell Wilson broke the sack there because, he has the ability. But you guys can see, we're going to get that pressure off that edge every time, whether he's coming from the right or the left. Again, you're going to have to do certain things like max protect, slide protect, ID, etc. to stop this blitz. And it's a three-man rush. So considering you're going to have to do all that to stop a three-man rush, I mean, that's just goes without saying how truly glitchy this is. Now, I do want to show you guys another example where we put in a different quarterback so you guys can see that, it's just Russell Wilson that has this ability that's allowing him to do this. And then I want to show you guys how it boxes corner routes so good. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to come out I guess we're going to come out in verticals here. And this is a blitz that I prefer running for shotgun formations. I don't like this for under center because, it's not terrible run D, but it's also not the best either. And honestly, this tactic of, the three-man rush and glitching out the blocked running back with the man up, it doesn't work as good if you're under center. Because under center, obviously, the guy is going to be directly, two behind the quarterback, so you're not going to be able to get that to work as well. But as you guys can see there, as soon as it's a different quarterback, he's going to eat dirt. He's not going to be able to break it. That's just Russell Wilson's ability. Now, I'm going to put him back in, guys, and I actually want to show you guys how this would work if someone had a rollout corner. Because, even though this is such a good blitz, if they max protect, know what they're doing to roll out to the tight end side to throw corner routes, they might be able to do that. Now, you can get around it with some adjustments to even prevent them from rolling out, period. But I actually just want to show you guys that even if they are able to roll out and throw a corner route, because of our coverage adjustments with putting the safeties in the outside thirds and then having the corners in the clouds and then having this guy in the middle third, it's not going to really make a difference because they're not going to be able to complete this pass. It's going to get broken up pretty much every time. So, just blocking the simple rush like this. Another thing I like about it, as you guys can see, these guys are so far to the outside over here, the corner, and then this linebacker. Can't even double team them now. It's not really mattering because he's not rushing anyway, so we're just going to double team the D tackle. And, that's kind of something that goes into play if we were to run this defense a bit differently. And, that's something we can go over later. But this is, like I said, this is a really good defensive scheme for me. And there's many different ways to run this. But let's look again how it's going to stop this rollout corner route. Okay, so let's take a look. You guys are going to see that the outside third and the cloud flat combo is going to be there, and it's not going to be something that they can do. That cloud flat is going to carry it until it finally gets behind him. And even if he does get behind him, which honestly, he didn't even get far enough behind him here, the outside third is going to be right there to pinch on this. And between those two defenders, you're going to be able to click on the one and break this up, if not pick it off every single time. I mean, that time you guys can see that the computer did it for me. I didn't even have to do anything myself. Now, one of the things I really like about this defense is that, you're able to stop the rollout to either side pretty easily if you really want to. Let's say that they do that rollout corner a few different times and you want to make sure it's boxed up. Well, there's a different way you can run this defense that I'm about to show you guys that's super good at that to prevent them from rolling out that way opposite your blitz. So, what we're going to do in that case is we're going to crash the D-line down and press, and then we're just going to QB contain, and that's it. We're going to still man ourselves up on the running back just like this. But what's going to happen here is this player on the contain is going to always keep that outside leverage, so he's not going to be able to roll out away from our blitz. Because if he tries to, that guy's going to get us. The reason for this is that this is not a player that most people will expect to be on the contain. They're going to expect maybe the D tackle or this outside linebacker to be on the contain. So if you guys see, we did the same thing we just did, the max protect and the double team to try to roll out. You're going to see that as soon as we do that, this guy, he's going to be right there, and we're not going to be able to get around him. Now, I don't know, he just glitched out right there, and we kind of made him miss, but that's not going to be something we can rely on. 9 times out of 10, that's going to, that guy's going to be able to make that tackle super easy. And again, it's just a super easy setup, as you guys can see here. I literally just press, crash the D-line down, contain, and man myself up on the running back. We can go ahead and do this again, and you guys are going to see that, again, that guy's always just going to have that. Well, first of all, we just screamed in there, so I couldn't even get to the outside. And that's what I'm saying, guys. Sometimes, even when you max protect, it doesn't stop that corner from coming around the edge. But the thing that's so great about this is even if it does and we're able to roll out, I kind of got a bad rollout animation here. This guy, he always has that outside leverage. You can see that on the tackle, on the tight end, whatever. So as soon as you try to roll out and scramble, he's going to come off that block, and he's going to be right there. Now, ideally, hopefully that's a good player that can make tackles and doesn't miss. But, he really should. He really should. Anyone should be able to make that tackle pretty consistently. We try to do it again here so you guys can see how this can prevent the rollout. See what I'm talking about? How the guy just comes off that block, and he's going to come right at the quarterback for the sack. So the faster that player is, the faster he's going to eat up the scramble. This is why I say this is such a good defense, because there's just so many different little variations you can do to stop anything that your opponent wants to throw at you. We got a 3-man rush that's, as you guys can see, super consistent and hard to block. We have the ability to turn it into a 5-man rush to prevent the rollout opposite it. And, we even have very, very good coverage that we can play that's going to use the same coverage defense I showed last week, or very similar to take away corner routes. We can apply it to the split scheme as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this defense, man. It's actually one of my favorites right now in the game. I've been using it a lot lately. It's very effective. And I have some other schemes and setups from this formation from even other plays too. If you guys want to see those, if you're enjoying this video, give me 300 likes and I'll drop those for you guys this week as well.